Hello, 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 hello. Great Wednesday, everyone. I am your host, Dr. Tara T. Stallings, and it is Wisdom Wednesday. Wisdom Wednesday. Wisdom Wednesday is a segment of my Let's Talk Tara podcast, which usually views every fourth Saturday of the month. Here on Wisdom Wednesday, I share nuggets of wisdom regarding every aspect of life that will educate, empower, and inspire you to your next level of greatness. So I want to thank you for joining me today. I'm not going to be on long today, but today I want to talk to you about what seeds are you planting? Now, what seeds are you planting? Now, for you church people, for our church people, uh, uh, you know, we've been taught that whatsoever you sow, you will reap. And that's usually taught from the perspective of finances. But I want to talk to you today a little bit about what seeds you are planting in every area of your life, because life is like a harvest. It's whatever you plant, you will receive some type of harvest on it, whether it's a small harvest, whether it's an abundant harvest. So, what seeds are you planting? What seeds have you planted? I see people, elderly people now that. And I'm going to use this for an example because I think it's fitting for this topic, the seeds that you're planting. I see so many elderly, older people that have their children, they've gotten older and their children grown. And because they didn't plant the right seeds, their children are not there to nurture them, to be there for them like they would want them to be for them, because they didn't plant the right seeds when they were young. And I'm going to give you an example. I have heard, and they're still not planting the right seeds. Older people say, well, I don't need anybody. I can take care of myself. Well, that's a seed that you plant. When you talk, when you speak, I talked about it a few weeks ago. Your words create contracts. Your words are seeds. So when you say things like, well, I don't need anybody, I can do it all by myself. Well, guess what? You're planting a seed that when in need, no one is going to be there. You're not going to have anyone there for you that in the capacity that you want them to, because you've planted the seed of, I don't need anybody. If you want to be sociable and you want to have a lot of friends, you have to plant the seed of friendliness. If you don't plant the seed of friendliness, then guess what? You're not going to have a harvest of friends. If you don't plant the seed of giving, of loving, of caring, of being concerned, when you need someone to love on you, to care for you, to be concerned about you, guess what? You won't have a harvest of someone loving, being concerned, and wanting to help you. So what seeds are you planting? What seeds are you planting? If you notice that everywhere you go, people are nasty, it's probably because you planted nasty seeds to people. If you've been rude and obnoxious and not having mercy or grace with people, you're planting the seeds of people are going to be rude, obnoxious, and they're not going to have grace and mercy with you. So what seeds are you planting, or have you been planting? Now, if you've planted some seeds in your life and now you are reaping a harvest, and look, if you plant seeds of eating unhealthy, later on you're going to have the harvest is you're going to have an unhealthy body. So we got to look at this from every aspect of life. If you plant those seeds of unhealthiness, if you're eating junk food, planting and eating unhealthy, later on, don't get mad when your body then gives out on you or becomes diseased or sick, because you have planted the wrong seeds. So I want you today to reevaluate the seeds that you've planted in your life and see if you need to uproot some seeds so that you can plant some new seeds. Now, understanding there is seed time and then there's a harvest. Seed, whatever you plant, then you got to give it some time to cultivate, and then you have to then you get a harvest. So if you planted some seeds in your life that you and now you're receiving a harvest that you do not want, you have to uproot those seeds before you can plant some new ones. Don't just think you can go and plant new seeds. No, you have to. You've ever seen a garden? You got to go and you got to dig those old harvests up and get that stuff out the ground. That means you may have to go and tell people that you're sorry. You apologize for what you said or what you did or what you didn't do, so you can uproot those things out of your life. If it's your health, well, if you've been planting bad seeds, well, guess what? You're going to have to uproot your behavior when it comes to food and your diet. Start eating healthy, start detoxing, start exercising so that you can get the harvest on the body that you want and the health that you want physically. If it's emotional things that you have planted, you have to uproot them so that you can plant the seeds so that you can get the harvest that you truly want. What seeds are you planting in your life? What seeds are you planting? What seeds have you planted? Because whatever seeds you plant, you will reap a harvest. You will reap a harvest. There is a scripture that Jesus said, it is better for a man to give than receive. Let me tell you why he says that before I close. Because if you plant a seed instead of just receiving a seed, because if you receive something, you hadn't planted it. So if the word says it's better for you to give than to receive, because if you give something, if you plant a seed, you're going to have a harvest. You are going to receive a harvest on whatever you give. That's a seed. That's a seed. So if you want mercy, if you want grace, if you want someone to be there loving kind of you got to plant those seeds. Give that of yourself. You can be a seed. Giving of your time, giving of your finances, giving of things that you may need later on in life. You don't know what harvest you may need. So if you give into good ground, you're going to receive a good harvest. And the same is true if you giving, or if you gave into bad ground or negative ground, whether you knew it or not, you're going to receive a harvest on it. So what seeds are you planting? Sometimes it's time. Maybe it's time to reevaluate your harvest so that you can dig it up. Sometimes that is asking for forgiveness, apologizing. Sometimes it's your mouth. You just gotta shut your mouth up, uproot those bad things that you said so that you can plant good seeds so that you can have a good harvest in life. This is Wisdom Wednesday, and this is your Wisdom Wednesday weapon. I am your host, Dr. Tara T. Stallings, and I thank you for joining me. Remember to like and share and like. If you're not following me on my YouTube page, make sure you follow me on my YouTube page at Let's Talk Tara on all my social media pages, and I will see you guys next week. Remember, what seeds are you planting? What seeds are you planting? See you guys next week.